Nobody asked for this video. I'm aware of that. Nobody has asked for this video, and I don't even really know why I'm making it besides wanting to be consistent and keeping a routine. Because as I explained in a few videos before this, routine is very important for me. If I lose my routine, I lose my mind. And yes, my hair is wet, and I'm not wearing a bra, and I'm shockingly doing surprisingly better than I was. And I think that it would be helpful for me to talk about some of the reasons why I was so upset in the last video, as well as talk about just how I'm doing, because some people seem to be very worried, other people seem to be indifferent, other people seem violently against me, and those people are my family, and y'all can fuck off if you're watching my channel. Because I know you're stalking my Instagram, and I think that I will put a pin in that for next video. And for those of you who are wondering, yes, I did put some color in my hair because I feel like I needed to put a little bit of color, even though I want to keep the blonde because I'm really, really enjoying the blonde. It's really lightened as I've been more and more in the sun. Ali Malik and Jimmy Bangash invited me out to the Waltham Forest Mela yesterday, and I had a lot of fun. I put a lot of problems behind me, and I was so physically tired that I could not mentally think of all my problems and why I just hated existing in a planet where all my problems are a problem for me specifically. This is going to be a nonsense video. If you're not here for that, please leave. Also, additionally, if you are, inspired by this, please just know that I am filming my mental breakdown for future reference so that I can come back to this and remember why I said all the things that I said. I think the first thing that I want to tackle is that in the past, a lot of the bad things that have happened in my life have happened either in autumn or in winter, which is why I consider it a time for change. This year, I hope all of my fucked up shit has happened in summer and I just was not ready for it. Usually I'm ready for some bad shit to happen in winter because that is when normally I have experienced bad shit to happen. And not every winter has been bad, but that is when I expect it to happen, and the universe just took a curveball and was like, you know what? We're gonna fuck you up just like a couple of months before that, just so you're not ready, and we can shake you up and make you ready. I'm trying to view it as a positive thing, even though it's a very negative thing. A lot of negative things have happened to me. Okay, let me explain what the negative things were, and then we can go into the mysticism of it. So the first thing that I will say publicly is that my grandfather died, and I could not go and visit him, even though I made all the intentions in the world to go and see him. And it was just one of those things, like, you can't put off someone's death, I guess. And it happened, and I felt terrible about it. And also my family were making me feel shit about it, because why would I, his favorite grandchild, without question, want to go and see him? Like, my family could not understand why me, as an outcast, would want to come see my granddad, which is reprehensible, to say the least. The other thing was that the nurse who was on the desk and I called to find out whether or not I could come see my grandfather out of visiting hours or away from my family actually told my family that I was planning to see him. And whoever you are, I'm sorry. I know you're probably just a very overworked nurse, but fuck you. Fuck you for possibly taking away and making my life just that much harder. Like, I don't want to, like, complain or, I didn't make a formal complaint. I did let the sister of that ward know, but, like, I don't want to fuck you up in a life way. I want karma to come get you, because you just made my life that much more difficult, and you didn't need to. You told me some shit about GDPR. You couldn't tell me anything about my granddad because of GDPR, But on your conscience, you thought that it was okay to tell my family that I was interested in seeing my grandfather when I expressly told you that that would be a bad idea. So, yeah, I don't think that that, would put any good juju into the world. So I hope that that is repaid in kind. Because honestly, I don't give a fuck right now. The other thing was that I had to go to A&E. I had some really severe cramping in my right side because, as I did a video on it, I got an IUS implanted into my body, and it was a very painful experience, but I didn't expect it to be just as painful to get cramps from that. The other thing was that I've just been consistently bleeding for I think it's been 30 days now. Or almost just about 30 days. It should calm down within the next few months. I mean, it's not a crazy amount of blood, but it's just really inconvenient. And I had these really severe pains. I don't even know how to explain it to people when people ask me, how bad or how severe was this pain. The pain was so severe that I could not do anything that day. All I could do was wallow in my pain and do nothing. I took opiates, I took cocodamol or something, and it knocked me out for 6 hours, and that is the only thing that I could do that day, was be knocked out. And the pain was so severe, it was like a pipe being pushed into my right side, into my pelvic region, and my entire right side hurt. I could not walk around, because anytime I walked around, my right foot would hurt. And for those of you who've experienced menstrual cramps, it's not just consistent pain. It's a pulsing pain. And it was that. But it was that pipe being pushed in and twisted. It was terrifying. And it continued for 2 or 3 days. And I had to go to A&E to check out whether or not I was fucking dying. And the nurse just told me, and the nurses there weren't that helpful either. I mean, I can't really blame them. It is A&E. But they were like, oh, you should come back another time. We don't have the machine. Da, 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 da. But the nurse assured me that it's probably nothing and that I'm probably overreacting and to just go see my GP. Which I did, and they told me that it's nothing, so please don't worry about that. I'm fine. Truly, I am fine in the health department. I'm just very inconvenienced right now. The third thing I don't really want to talk about because I think it's disrespectful, but it's very difficult for me to get through, and I've just been trying to take my mind off it, and it's not being made easy for me because I feel at fault for it. But I'm not going to talk about it because I said I wouldn't, and I want to respect that in just generally. So that's what's been going on with me, and it's three very heavy things. It's A, my health, B, my family, and C, something that I really don't want to talk about right now. But trust me, it's a heavy thing. And this, like I said, with me, when something goes wrong, everything goes wrong at once. It can't just be one thing that just fucks up and I can deal with it independently. It has to be 3 or 4 things in one that I have to deal with together, and it really throws me for a loop, which is why I had my little existential fucking crisis that you all enjoyed so dearly. But I did want to do a reflection, and usually the middle of the year isn't the time I do a reflection. Reflection is for the end of the year and the beginning of the year, but here we are. But before I get to that, I do want to say that maybe this is just a sign that nothing happens for any reason. All of this is meaningless, and you just gotta roll with it. You just gotta keep fucking going on this train of life. It just stops at any point, and it's get the fuck off and come back on later, until another train comes along, and it's like a shitty TFL service. That is what life is. I had a lot of people tell me, oh, everything happens for a reason. Oh, this is good for you. Oh, see the positive in this. The truth is, everything is meaningless, and we're all gonna die. That is the truth. And you can spin that any way you want. You want to be positive about it, you can think about it as, I have a limited amount of time in my life, and I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want to do. If you want to be negative about it, you can just, pray to die every day, I guess. But I try to look at it positively. Like, I don't think anything happens for a reason. I think things just happen, and then you have to deal with it. As you get to it, and that makes you who you are. That is my opinion of life. I have bought some philosophy books. I'm not in the right mind to read them. I'm very cynical at the minute, so anyone who's getting like really sarcastic little comments from me, excuse me, I'm going through a little bit of a problem here, a number of problems, a clusterfuck of problems. So please forgive me. I'm sure I will be writing a lot of apologies in future, but that's where I am right now. And I just wanted to reflect on my existential crisis and what I got from it. I wanted to say that I don't know how that was inspiring, first of all, because I saw a lot of people say that I'm really inspiring, that it was very authentic, and that, it really opened up a part of themselves. And maybe it was very cathartic to listen to, but I don't really see myself watching something like that unless I was like going through that, So if you are having like a little bit of a problem, DM me. Maybe we can just like bitch together. I find it really cathartic to talk about my problems. And that video was probably one of the most beneficial things I did all summer, was just get like all my shit off my chest. It felt very good to unpack all of that and just talk about it in like a very objective way. So yeah, I would recommend that if you already have a YouTube channel, just go for it. Record your existential crisis. Let people see the real you, like under all the shit. It was very, very cathartic for me to do because I felt so much better afterwards. But I did want to reflect on it, and I did want to share some realizations I had, because I think that that's important. It's like writing a movie and then not writing a sequel. This is unnecessary, and you don't need to watch this, but I need to do it. I think that I realized that I have a lot of gaps in my life, and I think that's normal for when someone dies or someone really important goes away. You realize that you're lacking in some department of your life, and you realize you want to, do some other stuff to fill those gaps. So I haven't really been writing them down, but maybe I should. Maybe I should keep like a little notepad or something of what I would like to do in future. I have thus since drawn up some really not important things, like with the kinds of tattoos I want to get, because that is something that makes me happy all the time, is just planning my tattoos. But other things, like maybe if people find me funny, maybe I should, write some comedy sketches or something. Or like if I really enjoy trivia, maybe I should host a show. Or if I really enjoy poetry, maybe I should recite some poetry. And I know y'all are still waiting for that. Maybe I'll record that today. I'm probably going to look like this, but maybe I'll record that today. And there was some other stuff that, again, I don't think I want to talk about right now. Because, again, I don't want to be disrespectful, and I want to respect the boundaries that I have set up within the whole sphere of that. But there's like a gap there that I wanted to rectify, because I feel like that I would go out of my mind if I didn't rectify that. And then there was some other stuff, like experiences that I just haven't had, and more so like just like thinking about my past and things that I disallowed myself from doing that I would not do now. Like, for example, one of the things that I talked about to Zara when I met up with her, for those of you who think she's cold, she's like one of the nicest people alive. And I know I say that about a lot of people, but I mean it. Zara is one of the most one of the most lovely people that you will ever come across. Every time that I have needed her, she has been there for me. And I needed her a couple of days ago, and we were talking, and she was like, what do you think is lacking from your life? And I said everything. Like, I think that everything is lacking from my life, and that is why I'm being driven crazy. I came from a background where everything was decided for me, who I would marry, where I would go, how I would live. how many times I would take a shit a day, how many times I was going to pray, how, what period of the year I was going to fast in. Everything was decided for me, and now, and this is something I've also discussed with my good friend Simon, who is one of my best friends. I consider him like a brother. And this was back when I was in my dad's house, and I had told him that if I leave this place and I leave this way of life, I have unlimited options, and that terrifies me. I am in a box, and I have an opening. I have a door that I can go through, but when I leave that place, when I leave my little torture box where I was being abused and treated horribly, when I leave that box, all there is are just doors and doors and doors and doors and doors. And I would not know the first thing about navigating that. And I think the limitless options really terrify me. And they scare me and they make me nervous. And I don't know how to deal with that. I don't know how to deal with, just being like, oh, well, this fucked up. What do I do now? Like, that sends me into like a panic. And I think that that's just a part of life, is not knowing what you want to do. And for some reason, I can't grasp that. I can't grasp the fact that maybe, just maybe, everything is meaningless and we're all gonna die. I don't know. I just want to be happy. That is all I want to do, but I don't know how to get myself there, and I also don't know how to remain happy, because like I said, I'm very uncomfortable being happy. And yeah, it's just been difficult. Like, when I can compare it in dating terms. Like, for example, like when I was younger, I didn't get to learn what a shit guy was. So now I'm learning that, when I was younger, I didn't allow myself to be approached by anyone that I didn't know unless they were in a mosque or something. So now, strangers approaching me, even if they're completely well-meaning, they just want some fucking directions, or they just want to pay me a compliment. I don't know how to respond to that. I have gotten better at not being very defensive, but I still don't know how to respond to that, and it freaks me out a little bit. When I was younger, I, never used to order food. Like, I never used to go outside to get my food because everything was fucking haram, everything. Like, even the halal places weren't, approved by a specific body that slaughtered meat. Like, I don't... You know what I'm saying? Like, everything was sketchy, so I had to, cook my own food and make my own things. And now, when I go out to order things, I just, I don't know how to be, or what to do, or how to, do I go up to the counter? Do I wait for somebody to take my order? What do I do? Do I just be awkward? I don't know anything. And it bothers me that I don't know anything. I started drinking when I was 21, very late when I was 20. It was the Christmas of 21. And then a couple of months later, I was 22. I started drinking then, and I still don't know my tolerance. I feel like a lot of people who, don't grow up with the restrictions that I grew up with, they get to experiment with all these things when they're really young, and then they figure it out by the time they're 20, 21. And I have just I'm just still a child. I still go to a fair and want a slushie. I'm still a child. I still, I haven't been to Disneyland. My friend was giving me shit the other day. Well, not me, but she was giving adults who go to Disneyland without any kids shit, because why are you going? It's for kids. And I'm like, I haven't been there, so I want to see it. That's why I want to go. And even if I did have kids, I would leave those kids at home because I want to experience Disneyland. I mean, is that crazy? Am I insane for thinking that? I don't know. But it is something that I consciously, I don't know if I'm weird for being like that or not, And then when people meet me for the first time, I can't really do small talk. I do long fucking diarrhea talk. If I have a problem, I have no problem telling you that I have a problem. If you ask me how I am and I am not okay, I will straight up tell you that I am not okay. I can't do the little dance of yeah, I'm fine. I'm totally okay. I can't even fake that. I can't even fake that on the camera while I'm explaining that to you, because I am so not fine. It's just been one thing after another, and like I'm dealing. I'm fine. Like I've done my hair, you know, a little bit. I don't want to, like I said, I feel like I fucked it up a little bit, but I'm not going to focus on that. I just did a thing and it's making me feel good. I'm dealing. Like I don't think I've eaten all day. Should probably not say that on camera, but it's true. I haven't eaten all day and I don't feel hungry. So I think I'm just going to let myself go today. I'm just going to leave myself to just do what I have to do today, and then tomorrow I'll try and get back on track. I'm seeing my mother tomorrow, my surrogate mother tomorrow, who has kindly offered to just have me at her house for a little bit while I allow someone else to be maternal with me, because I'm maternal with everyone else. And I think that that's like really important for me as well, to have like these surrogate relationships, like with my best friends who I consider like my brothers and sisters, and with my other friends who like just allow me to be the child for once. Like I'm a child, but if I'm around people, I'm the one that takes care of everyone. If I'm in a relationship, I'm the one that takes care of the other person. I'm the caregiver, and it becomes so, like, especially now when I have all these things like falling around me, I become in need of care, and I just don't find any caregivers. And Zara is a caregiver that I have found. She's always taking care of me. Alicia's another caregiver. She always takes care of me, and hopefully, I think at the end of this week, we're going to do a video together. I don't know if she's going to see this video, but I hope she does. But at the end of this week, we should be doing a video. Something that we were really excited to do. And Megan, who I will be seeing tomorrow, is also a caregiver, and I really appreciate that. And yesterday, I cannot say enough like how much care and love and respect I got from Jimmy and Ali yesterday. Like, if you guys do not follow them on Twitter, I don't know what you're doing with your lives, because they are lovely human beings and you need to follow them. They're also beautiful human beings. So even if you just wanted to go there for the eye candy, I mean, you're not losing anything. But yeah, go follow them and send them my love, because they're great and I love them, and I don't know how else to thank them besides this. And I just like I think one of the most iconic things that I've done this year is go to a very like desi brown event where there's loads of Muslims and be the only one there that's having like the most fun. Our group was the one that had the most fun. I can confirm for you, because we were the only ones dancing around to the Bhangra music, and I don't even know how to dance to Bhangra music, but it was fun. I'm sorry for this video. I know it's a bit of a mess, and I know I'm just talking. I've just like my brain, and I was saying this to someone this morning, my brain has just been blasted by problems for 2 weeks, like 14 days of just agony, pure unfiltered agony, mental anguish, and I just can't put like I can't even put this word together. I can't put 5 sentences together that make coherent sense. And I'm just not in the right mindset to give like anyone advice or say anything good. And I mean, I don't take a lot away from Islam, but I do think that if you have nothing good to say, man, you should not be talking. So I will disclaim this as just like, I just want to shit talk for a little bit. I just want some me time with the camera. You know, and I just felt like it was important for me to put a part 2 of my existential crisis. And hopefully in like a couple of days, on Wednesday when I normally put up a video, I will have something a bit more juicy for you to spectate, because I want to do a sin score, but I'm not going to have any receipts to do it from. It's just going to be from what I've been told about what my family has been saying about me and how I'm a very hot topic right now. So once I collect my thoughts on that, I will do that. And I also have a poem for you that I feel like I put somewhere. I'm so glad you can't see my floor, because it is a fucking mess. because it's just all my shit everywhere because I have been losing my mind for 2 weeks. But it's in there somewhere, and I will recite that poem later. It's a pretty good one. I've showed it to a couple of people, and they think it's pretty good, so I think I'm gonna recite it. I don't think I can put much gusto behind it right now, but I will try. And I will, share it around. It's gonna be up on Almari's blog, so go and subscribe to his blog. I don't know. I don't have the links for that, but I mean, he and I get along very well, so you'll definitely see him in my feed. I retweet his posts all the time because he's hilarious. I feel like this was just like an ad for you guys to go and follow people. Oh, also, thank you for all the PE subscriptions. I really appreciate it. But for those of you who are not subscribed and want more of this, I'm having a mental breakdown content. Please do subscribe and like this video. For those of you who are not here for it, feel free to unsubscribe and just live your calm life without me in it. But yeah, I will see you hopefully on Wednesday or in a few short minutes when I find that notebook somewhere in this pile of garbage that is all of my things. And I will see you soon. Goodbye.